Okay, Dave Cartwright here, doing a follow-up on my RS Vega that kind of went dead there for a while. I wasn't doing anything to it. Here's a far away look. There's the RS header panel and of course the nose cone, which if we remember right, went here like so. Excuse me, I'm not good with videos obviously, but that's where that fits. And our problem was the getting a park lamp in there. I could have put a little tiny one in there, but I didn't think that would have been quite right. So first I made a bracket here for both sides of the header panel as a retainer. The bracket goes right in here like so. Okay, just like this. That'll hold the header in. We want this to be a bolt in, bolt out type thing, so we can take it all out as a unit. And what I finally ended up doing with the park lamp scenario is I got a punch and bead and did that to the piece of sheet metal, and then this is a cut down view of the Camaro park lamp that I'm going to put into it. So that's what's going on with the front end of this. This was actually a fairly nice car when I bought it. It's a California car its whole life. So it's in good shape and nice. They put a nice paint job on it. It was green originally, as many of them were, but obviously this one isn't green anymore. So let's kind of a look at what's going on. Of course, the interior is gutted and there's nothing to look at. So that's that. But in the meantime, I've purchased another car. No, not a Ford Taurus or whatever that thing is. This is the inner workings of our body shop here. But I bought a 71 Vega wagon, and this is kind of a walk around of the outside. It's got some dents and wrinkles in it, but it has never been in an accident and never been repaired. No body work has been done on it, so that was kind of nice. I think it's got 76,000 miles on it, maybe something like that, and it had a V8 in it already, but I've made some changes with that. Just showing you the outside with the Champion radiator, and here's a look down this side of it like so. Pardon me with all the mistakes I'm making. And so that's kind of that part of it. Here's the interior. It's a very clean California car. The steering wheel's hanging down because we're still doing some work up front there. But that's pretty much it. Just see the little shadow of the stick shift there. It's a M22 rock crusher. I'm a stick shift kind of guy, so that's what I put in there. The car had nitrous in it originally when I got it, and I took the nitrous out, and it was a Vortec motor, so I think those are roller motors unless I'm mistaken. And I probably paid all the money for this car because as we know, these things just aren't worth a lot of money for some reason. I like them. I think they're real pretty cars. And this one and the red one outside will be the third Vegas I've done. My first one, as you know, was Carcraft magazine. You can look that up. August 07, Carcraft magazine, and I'm sure you've heard enough about that. But what's nice about the underneath of this car is the underneath of this car. as you can see, it's all original, no rust, nothing like that anywhere. And of course, down here, no rust. I don't know what kind of rear end it is, but they drag raced it. They had a nitrous setup on it and drag raced it, so I'm assuming it's kind of beefy. And it came with the Umi upper and lower control arms had on it, and new shock absorbers. And I couldn't believe somebody else didn't buy them when they were online, but I found these stop hop bars, and they were pretty much made for Vegas, and I found them, and they're actually kind of antiques. They came in the original box and everything else, so I put those on because my first Vega had horrible wheel hop, and didn't want that to happen again. And then back here we've got a 69 Camaro gas tank in the car. Okay, bumpers off. Got the 69 Camaro floored. I'm going to be putting it in also. And that's pretty much it. The car is very, very clean, original, no rust ever, no never wrecked. As you know, I own a body shop, so I would know by looking at it. Maybe somebody can tell me a little bit about this rear end. It's got the I forget what they call them, but they go on the bearings there, so you know what that is. There's another shot of the stop hop bars, and also everything, the rear end and everything associated with it was all powder coated when I got the car, so that was kind of a nice thing. It had a automatic in it. I believe it was a turbo 350, but I'm not an automatic guy. I'm a stick shift guy. I like them. I know they're not as efficient and whatnot, but they're just more fun, and I'm pretty good at driving them. So we got the Don Hardy cross member there, and up front also what they did, they rebuilt and powder coated the whole front end, springs, the lower and upper control arms, tie rods. I've got the Kevco oil pan, which I put on there. It didn't come with that, but the Moroso oil pans have the drain plug on the left-hand side or driver's side, and if you happen to scrape and hit a bump, it spins the bolt out. So I never understood that, but that's what they did. And we've had it running, and it runs quite well. I got the Sanderson Shorty headers. This is just to get it running. We don't have the gas tank's hooked up, but I don't want to put a gas in it because I'm still doing welding back there, so that'll make that a lot easier. And what else? Fuel pump was on the car already, and of course the Don Hardy motor mounts. The car came with the hooker motor mounts. Don't really like them. Doesn't matter. I don't know why. I just don't like them. And people can think or say what they want about them, but they're not my favorite. So I took those off, and the Champion radiator. In retrospect, I wish that this tank over here was a little bit smaller, so I could have had more fins on there. But you know, you do what you gotta do. Let me see if I can lift this thing down now, and so we can get a better look at it. 1 second here. Okay, here it comes. Okay, so I put a box over it last night to protect the engine and whatnot. We get some pretty moist air here every night in San Diego, and get the box off, right? Okay, and it's a like I said, it's a 350 Vortec motor. I put new wires on it, and what else did I do? I got a 15-inch fan, which clearance-wise fits pretty good. I'm going to use a shroud on the back side of the fan here. I've got an electric fan for the front also. Of course, the upper radiator hose is Camaro, 70 to 81 Camaro. The water neck is aluminum, and I just shined it up a little bit. All the hardware on the motor is stainless steel. The intake bolts, everything is stainless steel and hex head. I'm not into the Allen head stuff. So, okay, there's this. Okay, so it's got a dual feed on it, and MSD, I think, distributor and timing up under the hood and whatnot. And a classic alternator. I'm not into too much shine with some of that stuff. And that's pretty much it, really. I forget where I got the lower radiator hose, but it fits nice. We've had it running, and it runs good, and it doesn't leak. And that's pretty much that part of the story. I did the underside with a semi-gloss type paint and whatnot. And we put new wires on it, and what else? New wires, and cut the dipstick tube down. It was too long. It was sticking up here somewhere and wouldn't fit anywhere nice, so I cut that down. As you can see, I think we did a pretty good job running the wires. Not done yet. And that's pretty much it. I'll show you the other side, maybe. Here we go. Okay. Here's the other side with the boots and the wires and everything covered up nice. And let's see if I can maybe come over here. I know this is all silly. Whatever. Yeah, so it's got damage on it, you know, but it hasn't been repaired yet. So that's what I like. Nobody's ever put any paint on it other than factory. It's a 71, so those of you in the know can tell that because it's got no glove box. And that's the dashboard. And of course, the 4-speed shifter, the M22 shifter, and timing, MSD timing deal. I got the other seat, the driver's side seat out because we're putting the clutch linkage and whatnot in, and it's just easier with that seat out. These are the seats that came with the car. I'm going to redo those, and I'm thinking about painting the car red with a tan interior because it's tan already, which I kind of like. I like that combination. I also cut the spot welds out of the hood latch, as you can see, and I'm just going to put nuts and bolts in there. So I kind of cleaned this up and tried to make it look a little bit better. And the nuts and bolts are stainless, so that'll go in there. And the spring that pushes the hood up, I sanded that all down and whatnot. So a long ways to go, a lot of little details here and there, and that's pretty much it. You can see it's never been hit, and it's in really good shape. I think it's got 70-some thousand on it, I believe. But that's pretty much it. So hope I wasn't too boring and too fast with the video and whatnot. I've got some different wheels to put on there. These are nice. I like them. Oh, something I found out, speaking of wheels and whatnot, on my other Vega, the red one, I got red line tires. And as those of you might have looked into, they're very pricey. So just as an experiment, I took one of the tires from the front that I didn't have the red lines on, and I cleaned it off real well and taped a line, if you will, on it. And I just splashed some red paint out of a can on there, and just to see what it was like. And the next day when I came in, I scraped away at the red all I could, and it wouldn't come off. So to those of you that might want to put red lines on, I believe that the paint goes on and it stays on and works good. Anyway, thanks for listening and putting up with me, and I enjoy being part of this group. I enjoy it very much. Thank you.